Welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast. My name is Blue. That's Kevin James. And we got Datto and Joey with us today for our big 200. This is a really fun one. We got an update on Mr. Fruit. We have surprisingly really random topics, more random than usual. Rob talks about CS2. I'm sorry, Kevin James talks about CS2. We talk a little bit about Epic Games. Rob and Datto have a little bit of Rock Band bonding. And then we do a bunch
D&D
of
playthrough.
Oh, and then we talk about the D&D playthrough as well. And then
Also, buy these. These are almost sold out.
these are going to only be
Nice.
up for a couple more days by the time this podcast comes out. Actually, I think like 2 more days, right?
What is these for the audio listeners?
I was gonna say
These are BlueWestlo
the
plushies.
BlueWestlo X content plushies. Go give them.
We are actually surprisingly, and I mean that genuinely, surprisingly running low. Like, that is not me trying to bait you into buying more. We are running low, and we actually might hit because what they do is you got to estimate when you buy them. So we estimated, let's do this because this is what the first one did. Well, these blew the first ones out of the water, I will say. So, if you haven't ordered it, do so now.
So yeah, we got a whole lot of stuff coming up. Just usual random bits. Hey, and then Rob does his best Kevin James impression over and over again, and it might stop being funny, but honestly, it doesn't really stop. All that and more on the GG Over Easy podcast. Stick around.
This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. I talk about it all the time, but I know streaming and making content is something that is good for my brain. Unfortunately, my brain gets in the way of that, telling me that I'm no good, I'm irrelevant, I'm dumb, I'm fading away. All that gets in the way. Thankfully, I had BetterHelp in my corner to tell me and show me the things that I can do to reassure myself that I am worth it. And I know BetterHelp can help you with your problems as well. Nobody is above therapy. Therapy can help you with so many things. BetterHelp stepped in and showed me healthy ways that I can reassure myself and tell myself that I am worth it and that I do make great content and that people do love it. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time with no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp help.com/GG. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the GG Over Easy podcast, episode 200. We have officially made it to the next kind of milestone that you have in podcast episodes, the big 200. We are missing the big fruit man still. I know a lot of people have been asking for any sort of update on Christian and how he's been doing. He did post on Reddit recently, and I don't know if many people follow him on Reddit or follow his subreddit or anything. But if you don't, it's r/Mr. Fruit. And somebody posted in them that they're worried about Mr. Fruit. And he commented about a week ago and said something very nice that I think a lot of people would like to hear. So it says, "Thank you for your concern. I appreciate your post as well as everyone else who has missed me and my content. I'm doing less than okay, not great, not okay, and not terrible. Although not too long ago, I would have said terrible. I'm taking as much time as I need to recover because I'm physically and mentally broken to the point where I cannot no longer make any content, which in the 9 years of YouTube has never happened. It wasn't planned, it was sudden, and I hate disappearing like this. But I know if I don't do this now, then Mr. Fruit may never be able to continue. That's not what I want. I still love what I do, so I'm doing my best to get back into a healthier state of mind and body so that when I come back, I'm refreshed and ready. I don't mean to worry all of you, but I'm distancing myself from most of the internet during this time. So if I seem AFK, because I am. Love you all and thank you all for the support. I hope there will be enough of you around that I can come and make videos when I return. I don't intend of this break to take longer than a month or two from now, worst case scenario. I should be back before year end. And there will be video explaining in more details my situation at some point as well. Heart, Mr. Fruit." So just kind of want to reiterate that when it comes to any of us like Datto, Blue, Joey, and stuff, the last thing we want to be with Christian is a connection to work or something like that. I think we more so want to be his friends first, coworkers type of thing second. So if anybody asks us kind of, how's Mr. Fruit doing? Is Mr. Fruit going to play with us today? Just know none of that stuff, like especially the one if he's playing today or something like that, just doesn't really kind of like help anybody. He'll come back when he feels like it. He'll come back better than ever. So when I'm asked constantly, how's Christian doing? Have you talked to Christian? Have you talked to Christian? In reality, I'm kind of, if Christian asks if I want to play TFT, I'll play TFT with him. And, the last thing I really want to talk about is, hey, man, how you feeling about your content? Are you coming back anytime soon? I don't want to be a coworker or anything like that. And I feel these guys feel the same. So Christian, if you're listening, take your time, King. We'll be here, whether that's episode 201 or episode 300.
69.
Or episode 69.
We appreciate you, King, and we know you'll come back in due time. We know this whole burnout YouTube thing is a real thing. It was cool to have him play Party Animals with us, though.
Yeah.
Because that was like
God,
almost kind of like he was just playing for fun type of thing. Who knows?
Yeah,
He may have recorded or something. I don't really know. But the last thing I wanted to do was like, hey, man, like, so this means you're back type of thing. I wanted to be more so like he was there just playing games with us. I didn't want to like clickbait him in any of the titles or anything like that. So I hope he's finding this sabbatical to be nice. Because if anything, it's helped me and Blue become a little bit more self-sufficient and help him with the podcast and getting that up and going. So when he comes back to doing the podcast, he won't have to nearly do as much as he used to. And that's kind of the goal Blue and I have set for ourselves, is try and take as much off Mr. Fruit's plate as possible. So thank you guys for sticking with the podcast, as it's been uploaded a little bit late and stuff like that. That's on my end. But moving forward, that shouldn't be an issue anymore. So wish you were here for 200, Mr. Fruit, but I'm glad you're not. You know what I mean? I'm glad you're taking the time that you need, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you said. I've been kind of just directing people to what he said on Reddit. Same thing. Like that's where he's at right now. Trust me, we miss him too. But we're gonna
part
wait.
of the reason we're not having a D&D session next week is because I'm flying out to go just hang out with him.
Yeah, that's gonna be sick.
For a few days.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to kick it with you and Danielle as well. I think Cindy and I are going to drive down there for a night as well and kind of find the best day for like a board game night or something like that. I think that'll be really fun. And I think that'll be something that really, I don't know, I think he just needs to have like a source of normality in his life. And I think he probably just thinks work is his whole life at the moment. And I think we just can remind him that he can just live. So I'm really appreciative that you're coming down, Datto. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, no, I just like, I just had my birthday last week, and I went to like Top Golf. We went to round one, which is a like a big arcade, bowling, all that kind of stuff. And I was just like, that's the kind of stuff that I want to do. Like whenever I just like need a day out, that's the kind of day out that I want to have. And I know like Fruits, like we're into similar things. So I was kind of just like, I just want to fly out there and I just want to do like a bunch of fun stuff. If a bunch of fun stuff is like going to an arcade for a whole day, let's go do that. If a fun day is just chilling at home, and I bought a bunch of like a bunch of starter decks for this game called Flesh and Blood. Like,
hell yeah.
We're just gonna learn this game. Right, and we're just gonna try a bunch of decks, right?
That was like one of the most fun things we did at PAX South when that was there. Was Christian found some weird card game that no one else wanted to learn, and I was like, "Well, fuck it! Like, I guess I'll just sit here and learn it for you for about like an hour." And like by the time it was hours, like, all right, I dropped 2 keys and I put them in attack mode, and then like I couldn't tell you how to play that game now, but it was one of those kind of memories that like it was really fun because
Yeah,
I know he
Keyforge,
really
I
enjoys
think is
that.
the name of the
yeah.
game. Yeah. So I was just like, if I was in this state, and like I knew people were trying to come over and do some stuff, I'd be like, we're doing this, I want to do this. So that's basically just what I want to do with him.
Nice.
It's just like
Goated friend
if
Datto.
it's hanging out, if it's going somewhere, whatever, just for a few days, just having a good time. That's it.
Yeah,
that'll help.
we'll probably go. I don't know. Dave and Buster's is not too far, which is like a really cool, fun arcade. There's like a Fort Fun place that's not too far, but that has like, I think that's where we did the mini golf.
Yeah, there's an
Les
arcade
jumped
there
in
as well.
the pond.
Yeah, it's like a bowling alley arcade. I think they have go-karts there now too.
Yeah,
Which is really
all
cool.
that kind of stuff.
So yeah, I can't wait. I'll definitely be there. And what I think is the coolest part, I think, for him is that he'll know that it's not for content, it's not for anything. It's just like friends coming there to hang out, and that's literally it. And I think that'll help him a ton. So I'm really appreciative of that, of you coming down, Datto. It's going to be fucking sweet.
Before we go on, I had a page open and it just randomly started playing an ad. So, for all you listeners, you're gonna get a really sensual Hispanic, just Spanish dude talking about something for like about 5 seconds. So that was not your imagination. Oh my god.
No way.
I hate pages that just start playing video ads, dude.
I've had
you up-
NFL.com muted like for 5 years now.
Dude, I was just chilling, and then out of nowhere, escuchando, vamos a la librario. Bro, I'm Mexican. This is embarrassing. But yeah, so congratulations, you guys get that. To continue on the topic, things we like to do when people are just coming over and visiting. Let's do shit that I want to do. Go on. Oh my goodness.
You know what I found recently, Blue, that me, you, and Christian talked about doing years ago, but never ended up doing it. There's a one in here where I live. The like sensory deprivation tank or whatever that's called.
That's true.
No.
There is one here locally. That
dude, I think you guys should do it.
I think I'm gonna do that. We can also bring that up to Christian. I know he's talked about maybe trying something like that. I don't know if he's done it, but we can
talk to Danielle about that, because she and I did this thing where you go into like a giant salt bath thing. It's like 90% salt, and you just float there, and the water's the same temperature as like your skin or whatever, so it's just supposed to be like you're just floating there.
Yeah.
And I think they also do like sensory deprivation.
Same thing?
Like I think
sensory deprivation means there's no like light.
Yeah.
Or,
like they completely.
darkness.
It's just like dead quiet. Yeah, like this didn't have like we had the earplugs, so but that was mainly because they didn't want you getting salt water in your ears.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, you could put on like these little goggles and all that kind of stuff. Talk to Danielle, because she's done it a couple times now.
Oh.
Yeah, I know he's
sounds
talked
kinda
about doing some sort of deprivation tank like that.
I feel like that would freak me out.
It's a little weird. I was cool to experience. I'm not in a huge hurry to go do it again, and I think that's because like I couldn't get relaxed enough. Like I never got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm feeling sleepy. It was just always like, I'm just laying here. Oh, my hand just touched the wall. I'm just gonna bounce off. And all right, I'm gonna bounce off this other wall.
It wasn't like the prophecy is true. I have reached enlightenment, because that's what they like say is the whole kind of point of that is.
Yeah, it was just more like my neck's kind of sore from laying like this. You have like this little like foam rest that you can put your head on, and I couldn't just never quite get comfortable enough to just be like, oh, this is relaxing. It was always kind of like I'm fidgeting, or I'm noticing, I feel myself like moving slightly to the left, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna hit my head or something, and I'm gonna bounce off and spinning around.
Yeah, so
I don't know, it's weird. It's weird.
I found one of those, so I'm gonna find a weekend, because I'm a claustrophobic kind of person. So, and this is one of those tanks where like it is like no light or like no sound or anything like that. It's kind of one of those. So I got Cindy a gift card for her birthday to try it. I don't know. You can like take yourself out.
No,
like,
you can just open the thing up if you like. You're not doing it anymore.
Yeah,
there's not someone in there with.
No, you're locked in there, bro. You're locked in there, and once you're in, you're done, bro. It's over.
Yeah, you go in and you take like a cold shower to get like all the stuff off of you, and then you go in there, float, and then you shower again, and that's it. And you're in there for about an hour and a half. I think.
So are you just like
this place has it?
So are you just whole hogging it too? Like you're just.
Oh, you're completely naked. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah. They make you shower so that you're not disgusting.
I did not know that you were naked.
So this is starting to sound like.
Oh
prison.
yeah, you're naked, 100%.
It's starting to sound like prison. They're just like get in the shower.
Get in the tube.
I will say it is
good boy.
Go ahead.
You have your own, at least the place that we went to.
No,
you have your own room. You have your own chamber.
So
you have your own
these
shower.
aren't
It's not like you're in there with three other people in this giant egg.
It's like a private.
You just have,
it's a very private room.
You just have Dale sitting there like getting that shower. All right.
I gotta say though,
whenever you're ready,
you drift
getting that
towards
salt
one
bath.
wall,
whenever I do take a bath, like now that I know I'm gonna be naked though, like I don't ever get relaxed in a bath because my little pee pee, like it kind of just like when it stays over like. Yeah, just kind of like
floating. I mean, your whole body.
I don't like that. See, I'm gonna like just be.
Don't look down at your fucking.
It's not. I'm looking at it. It's just like I can feel it. Like
you're not gonna think about like you're gonna think about other things other than that. Like when you first get in there, because it takes a few minutes to get adjusted to the fact that you're just like floating in a pool of water that's the exact same temperature as you, and you're gonna focus on getting comfortable. Maybe after a little while you'll think about that.
Okay, elaborate on this. What do you mean you what do you mean? What is the sensation that happening around your dick that causes you to get distracted exactly?
Well, no, it's like whenever you take a bath, as a man, like and you're my bath's not big enough to cover my whole body. So like it's just the little tip is always kind of like sticking out and you feel like the brisk in the air. You do, and I can't help but think
it's not something that I think you will need to think about.
Yeah. Also, I don't know how shallow is the bath.
Yeah, it's probably not. It's probably
because I'm not thinking like you're like dunked in the water. I'm thinking like if you're laying floating, you're probably not like submerged to the point where you have to think about the tip of your dick floating in uncharted waters, anglerfish style.
You're definitely not fully submerged in the water. It wasn't like that much water. I mean, the whole point is that you're floating. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So you like most of your body will get wet at some point. Just
episode 200, as Joey said, boys. Episode 200.
This is what you waited 200 episodes for.
I'm going to float before next week's podcast. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to see what it's like. That's because I got a gift card for it, so I'll just go and do it.
But yeah, Danielle really like. Apparently, it's like good for like muscle relaxation or some. I don't know, but you can talk to her about it if you want to know more, because she's done it a couple times now.
Well, I'll ask Christian if he has any desire to find maybe a float place down there and try it out. Yeah, because I know we talked about it on the podcast. I don't know if he actually has gone and done it yet.
Boys' night out. Let's go, boys.
The penis floating night out.
Group showering.
Speaking of boys' night out, myself, Datto, and Joey have started a Thursday night D&D playthrough with Captain Robert and also Ruben. We had our first playthrough yesterday, and I was curious to Mesmo over there, aka Joey, what you thought of your first D&D experience.
First time? Dude, yeah, awesome. Like if I was to picture a D&D, like first time D&D experience, that was pretty much it. I think that was pretty much what I was picturing. Back in the day, I would have pictured us like around a table and we're moving all kinds of stuff around the board. But for online stuff, that was like perfect. That was exactly what I was looking for. So now, it was really cool.
Do you prefer Datto? Because you probably have done both. Do you prefer online D&D or do you prefer table D&D?
I've only played table D&D one time.
Oh.
And I mean, I think I would prefer it over an online experience just because like it's it's more fun when you're all there in front of each other and you can like get up around the board and like do, it's just more. I imagine it's way more fun in person. But
you could say the same about podcasts too. I mean, like, let's be real. So
I think I would like in person more. But like this is pretty much as good as it's gonna get when it comes to online. Especially with all like the built-in functionality. And I'll say if Baldur's Gate ever gets to the point where people can create their own modules and run their own things, where they just like give everyone a bunch of here's all the tools and here's all the like the scripts that you can run, and essentially just build like a forge like a D&D forge in game, like that would be absolutely insane.
Yeah, all it needs is to not be like an RPG anymore either. Like if they could just make it like a third-person action adventure game too, like that would be
totally.
Dude.
Did you guys see that tweet real quick? Just a second.
Yeah.
Where yeah, man, just change the entirety of the combat system overnight.
If this game was first person, I'd like it a lot more.
I don't know who said what.
There was a tweet basically
a dumb take
where a guy was like, "Man, can you please make it like an action combat game? Like that would really immerse me more into the Baldur's Gate 3."
Oh, instead of it being like a turn-based
RPG.
Yeah. Like
so kind of sounded like you, Rob.
So like, just oh man, just change the whole game overnight, man. Well, also it's like, yeah, man, just don't make it D&D. I love gaming Twitter. They make me happy.
I will say, I felt like I had kind of a silver spoon in my mouth when it came to D&D, because my previous campaign, I felt we were very spoiled with kind of, the assets we had and the art and all that kind of stuff we'd have. So I was always kind of like, oh man, if I ever did D&D, like it wouldn't ever like be the same. I'd always like compare it to like my past campaign and stuff like that. And I gotta say, dude, I had so much fun last night, and it was literally exactly how like I remember like looking forward to D&D and stuff. Like now that like I have D&D back in my life, and like Thursdays are now for D&D except for next Thursday. And then the next Thursday technically, I cannot wait like for just kind of what's kind of coming. And I also feel like our characters are also really cool and interesting. Like there's a lot of room to grow, and I just think it's going to be like a really fun little episodic campaign. And like, who knows, like say Dad was like, yeah, that was kind of it for me. And it's someone like, I know True Vanguard was watching yesterday. I know Leopard was watching yesterday. Someone could be like, hey, that was like really cool. And like, we could like even like continue on if people want to keep going. And if people don't want to keep going, that's what Robert said. Basically almost have kind of like a revolving type of door. And what I like about this kind of playthrough is like our last campaign was like, the fate of the world rests in your hands. And this one seems a little bit more kind of like a side kind of quest.
Down to earth.
Which I'm excited about.
Yeah. We're drifting more towards like, we're trying to take out a crime syndicate versus like that world's going to
This
explode.
is a demon.
Like, we're going into a portal of an alternate dimension, and now we have to, So, which is like fun for some, as I feel like that is kind of like later on, but like when you first kind of get your piece of D&D, man, I just had a blast yesterday. I felt like everybody was really into it. Ruben and Joey as first timers coming in, actually having like a voice prepared and stuff like that was really sick.
Theater kids, Rob. We came prepared.
I didn't know Ruben was a theater kid.
No, he doesn't like to talk about it as much as I do, but that's okay. He's ashamed of his past. But I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, Ruben comes in with this Southern frog, just like it's cracked, insane, like punching guys left and right. Like he's what's going on, brother? How you doing? And it's just like this is what D&D is supposed to be. I was very happy with just all of us, like you said.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to Thursdays now.
It's gonna be good. I think what also helps me is knowing that like we have a start, we're gonna have a middle, we're gonna have an end. Like we're gonna have an actual 3-act structure in this campaign, and then it's gonna be done. Like I've done the multi-year campaigns. I've done that kind of stuff, and it just gets so exhausting. Like I very much like having direction. So like when I start, a campaign and it's like, oh, we're starting with like this thing, and then it just like branches out into 17 different possible things. I'm just like, I just want like, here's the bad guy. We have to resolve this. Let's have some antics along the way, and then I'm done. And then a new thing begins. The whole 2-year multi-campaign, 2 campaigns in one type thing. When I did my first things with math class, like 6-7 years ago, we were running a module, and then my buddy Zepic threw in another module in the middle of that one, and then we continued the same module from before after we finished that second one that was thrown into the middle. And they were really fun, don't get me wrong. Like, we had some very interesting times, but it can also get exhausting.
5 weeks, like, you're still in the same dungeon that you've been in for the 6 episodes you've done. It's like, okay, where is the end of this fucking cave?
Yeah.
Like, can we just go into a city?
We were in a dungeon at some point for almost as long as we will do this campaign.
God. Wow. Yeah. So like 10 episodes just doing a dungeon crawler.
Yeah.
I thought it was really cool that we were able to go to like a blacksmith shop and, all these other locations. And then at night, it's the scenery changes and stuff. Like I didn't expect that really at all. So it was kind of cool, like seeing, because I just thought we would have like a center stage, all our characters are introduced, and then we kind of figure out our way from there. But I mean, Robert seems to be a professional at this stuff.
Yeah.
So
Robert is the man. He's like, when I like brought this up to him, he was so excited. He was like, dude, I'll get started on this like right now. He's like, yeah, I think it would be so fun to run a campaign with you guys. And to hear yesterday that he really liked the RP, the last thing I want to do is feel like a DM is time is wasted or something like that, or he like hates like how we RP, or it's like, when we're RPing, it's almost like he's off to the side. And it's like, okay, now let's get to the end point of the RP there. Like, so, and to know that he had a good time and was super excited about it and can't wait to do is more so like what I wanted. I wanted him to have fun, and I wanted Joey and Ruben to also have fun. I knew you would have fun, Datto, but I also knew you are a veteran. And are you currently running any D&D campaigns like alongside this one, or is this kind of the only one? Okay.
No, this is the only thing I'm doing right now. I do still owe a charity incentive where I do eventually want to run my own campaign, but the amount of work that it takes to run something is so crazy, especially if you're running something completely original and you need to have some kind of like, there are ways to railroad a party,
give a little bit.
Yeah, there are ways to do it. Because you eventually have like, okay, well, I want to hit this story beat. I want to hit this story beat. So it's can be like the illusion of choice sometimes, where like I feel like if we would have, like if I didn't interact with that street vendor, would we have progressed on that particular storyline with maybe a different vendor? Like he could just bring that up whenever he wants. Really, it can be any sort of NPC that kind of brings this up. But yeah, running something completely original and having to account for like all these different things and like coming up with characters on the spot and names. And
when you say original,
things,
like is what Robert is doing, is that OC? Like is he taking that from like a 5e book?
If he is taking it from a 5e book, I don't know which one he is.
Okay.
And I'm sure like some people take, pre-built campaigns and they kind of make them their own. Like maybe they run in and it's like, oh, okay, well on this next playthrough, I'm going to change or this is going to be inspired by blah, 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 blah. So I don't know if his campaign is completely original or if he's used some stuff from other things, or maybe this whole campaign is, a pre-built module that somebody else made because other people sell their own modules, right? Like they come up with the story, they come up with their own characters. They come up with their own book, essentially.
So when you say module, does module like another word for like a quest line or something like that?
Like a campaign,
or...
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like we ran all those years ago, we did a 3 episodes of Storm King's Thunder.
Yep,
if you remember
I remember.
that.
I do. We ended in a flying giant's cave or building or some castle or something.
Yeah,
like
we were
that.
in kind of like a floating castle. Yeah.
Which was sick. I had a lot of fun with that.
But those things are like super long, or at least they can be super long. And I wanted to do something much, much shorter. I wanted it to be like a 4 to 6 episode thing. But even doing something like that completely original is really hard to do.
Yeah.
I vastly underestimated the kind of work it takes to get something like that rolling if you want it to be completely original.
So you would want yours to be completely original?
I wouldn't. I would want the idea to be more like, if I'm gonna run a D&D campaign, I would want to do like sort of like more of like a murder mystery type thing, a little more political, maybe a little more heavy on RP. Yeah. But like trying to go search for, the marketplace for something like that is proven to be a bit tougher than I originally anticipated. So I think I need to make some concessions.
So have you worked on it then a little bit, or not? Just the groundwork?
If I have started any work, it's been like maybe 1%, and that was a long time ago when I started to realize like, oh, this is way more work than I thought.
This is a lot.
It was going to be. Yeah.
Was it for a GCX incentive or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I still do really want to do it, and knowing what my next couple of months are going to look like with regards to content, this is probably a good time to start. Because your boy is out of content. But yeah, it is much tougher than it looks to do.
I gotta say, Datto, watching your Destiny videos, I actually really enjoyed. As somebody who doesn't play Destiny, I really liked how I think it was the Crota video, like how people are actually doing Crota versus like your guy. I thought that was a really sick video. Like I
got a good amount of compliments on that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it'd be really cool to do
this for every raid.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It'd be cool to see you do like, this is how people actually do like Queen's Fall or like whatever it's called. What's the
Last
first
Wish.
raid Last Wish, that nobody actually does legit. Like I think it'd be really cool to like break down all the raids and people how they actually do them rather than I just thought it was a really good video.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all the guides that I do are just like huge mechanical breakdowns of just like, here's the timer for this, here's how this mechanic works. And I usually make them during when contest mode is still active. So, I have like some idea of like what strategies are going to work and what's not, but then I usually never follow it up, and following it up a couple weeks later is proven to be a decent idea to kind of like get everyone who kind of like, what the mechanics are, but you're like, okay, but what do I need to bring? Like, what do I actually need to do? So,
yeah. Still need to do Crota. Still haven't done it. I got to.
We talked about it. We talked about it that one day. I think it was like the day after contest. We're like, oh yeah, dude, like we can run it tonight if you want, and we just never did.
I'm all right.
It's not that bad.
No, it really isn't.
No, at least on normal mode.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna hop on and do it.
I've done it. I'm actually ahead of you guys for once. Let's go.
Yeah, I need to do it again because I want Fang. So
I wanted the really cool glowy armor. That's the only reason I'm doing it. So
yeah, the armor's dope.
Here's how
I think I just now got all the pieces.
Are the DDoS attacks stopping now, or is that still like a thing?
I think that's still ongoing, right?
I think it is still technically ongoing, but a lot of stuff, like I played all day Tuesday, like 10 hours. I didn't have a single problem until literally the very end. And then I played like another 6 hours on Wednesday, no problems. So I think they're kind of being mitigated at this point. So the game is playable.
Take that, you 15-year-old.
It was
Bungie.
It was crazy to see the times as well, because like the dude would very clearly get off work and be like,
all right,
time to load up, boys. time to fuck over a multi-billion-dollar company, but I'm not doing anything to them. I'm just making the player base mad. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I recently watched a video on how DDoS attacks work, and they basically send malware to like just any kind of machine, and then once they have that like malware into that, like whatever, if it's a street camera or a computer or some sort of hard drive or whatever, then it sends like information to those servers and it just like destroys them.
It's
like,
crazy because like a lot of people don't even know they're part of DDoS attacks, but because of like a malware's like in their system, part of their processing goes toward part of their network goes toward just a little trickle goes toward like filling up a server and overloading them. It's networking is scary stuff, and I'm very glad I'm not employed to do that stuff.
Right.
Some of that
Good thing Bungie
wild.
wasn't working on another stressful thing recently. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Game dev is like catching a bunch of king crabs in like the Arctic Ocean. It's crazy.
Well, I mean, speaking of game deving and calling it that, one of the biggest FPSs recently just launched their newest, I guess. I mean, they Overwatched Counter-Strike. Like, I mean, you can still go back into CS:GO, but like now, if you want to, like, you have to download like a demo for it and stuff. It's sad, man. I miss CS:GO, and I like CS2. Just plays a little bit differently. I played about 8 hours the first day it came out. I played from like 3 to like 11 probably. I had a lot of fun. At the end of the day, it's still CS:GO. Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny to see how the market goes because you kind of see it in stocks. It's like, when CS2 comes out, I'm gonna sell at an all-time high because skins are gonna go up, and it's just like everybody is saying that, and it's like, okay, well, now you're trying to sell your skin. Effect. Exactly. So a lot of people have been panic selling. The market is actually in a downward spiral at the moment, which is pretty funny. Like, for an example, like butterfly sapphires were like 16,000. I think they're like 12,000 now. Like they're literally like a $4,000 drop just because it looks a little similar to another kind of finish that knife can have. Mm-hmm. But again, I'm really shocked that the game kind of came out. I still feel like it should be in beta form. I think it is in a glorified beta, but like now just everybody can play it. Mm-hmm. I don't think you'll see till like December or like November. We'll have like a new case or like more so like a new operation coming out with the game. I'm surprised Valve didn't have some sort of like trailer.
Yeah, it kind of flew under the radar, to be completely honest. Like, well, I haven't heard really anybody talk about it.
Well, that's like my thinking is like the people that know about CS and want to play CS are already playing it. Like, how much money do they need to market CS:GO to get people to play it? You know what I mean? I think a lot of people that have played CS know if they like it or don't like it. But I think it's awesome.
They're not grabbing any of the Valorant frogs doing that. So
yeah, well, and I don't think the pro scene has started playing CS2 yet, which I don't think has helped either. But
what's been like the general response to the release of it?
I think the general, it almost is like, wow, Valve is Valve again, and just kind of releasing a game that doesn't have a new case. There's just no hype behind it. You know what I mean? All the hype was back in May when they like showed off what CS2 was looking like and stuff. Yeah, and teasing it. And then when they kind of gave it to us, it was like, yeah, this is kind of like the limited time test that you guys have been playing. But now it's CS2. Right. So it's kind of a little underwhelming, but like when CS:GO came out, it was awful and nobody liked it and stuff. So
I remember.
And it's basically kind of like the whole thing where no one's going to like it. And then CS2 is going to be the greatest game ever. And then CS3 comes out and everyone's like, oh man, CS2 was the best. Like, yeah, it's the Destiny 1.
Same thing with Source. Same things with 1.6. Yeah.
Yeah. But
not the same thing as Overwatch.
Yeah, not the same thing. Dude, you know what's crazy? I was literally like chilling the other day and it was like Overwatch World Championships going on. And I was like,
yeah, they're really? Soon.
Like really? Like, yeah. I had no idea that the World Cup of Overwatch was going on right now.
Well, I officially uninstalled like last week.
Wow.
The first time.
You're so brave.
But the thing is, though, that's the first time I've ever uninstalled Overwatch. because that's the game I would hop on. Like, you know, if the normie friends wanted to play a game or like someone else, like, but that's the thing. My normie friends aren't even playing Overwatch anymore. So it's like, I was sitting there and I was like looking at my PC space. I'm like, sorry, Overwatch, you're.
They keep
all my normie friends play Modern Warfare.
I would still be
like.
Ooh, Modern Warfare that's definitely a big on my normie friends tier list too. Every single time I start playing Overwatch, they nerf Genji and then I just never played again. So you could have had me Overwatch, but you had to nerf Genji again. So
I was thinking about like, man, I would love to know player counts for Overwatch 2, and I'm like, we sort of have that because they're on Steam now.
Yeah,
and it is a little bit higher than I thought. There's 16,500 on Steam. I don't imagine that many people
how much
who
on Destiny
play
right
on
now?
Battle.net. How many people on Destiny right now?
At least 40.
Come on, baby. Come on.
I mean, it's going to be more 40. Than Overwatch.
Okay, good.
Current players 55,000.
Okay,
we're chill. It's always around 40.
that's pretty low for D2
right now. So.
It is. Yeah.
For D2,
well, I mean, nothing's really going on right now.
Yeah, it's crazy because like D2 had like one of its highest player counts and peak players in Lightfall. Like one of the highest average player counts they've ever had while they've been on Steam. And we've definitely hit some of the lower markers we've ever seen as well. August had July and August had 47, 48,000. Although last 30 days were about 10,000. Wow.
Well, and see, this is where it's funny because like the people breaking down like CS2 are like, only 1.5 million players played today for CS2, and it didn't hit the 1.8 million peak that it hit in May. Like it's like, it's 1.3 million people are playing it. Like I think at this, like it's the biggest FPS in the world. I mean, I don't know how many people play Modern Warfare and stuff like that.
I don't think as many as CS2 at any given point at this point.
Well, the other thing is too, CS is only on Steam, so you're getting basically the entire player count there,
and also the entire allure of CS. Not quite as much as CS2, but more so. Like I would say it's definitely more CS2 at this point. Is like CS games are designed to run on any rig, so you have you have a much wider install base.
Yeah,
and that's their whole intention.
Exactly.
You know. They don't need a PS4, PS5. All they need is like their mom's laptop, and they're running CS2, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah. Were there any big like features that came with CS2, or does it feel more like a thing for Valve to be like, we need to make some upgrades to this game that people aren't going to see, but it's going to really help us do things? Or were there like extra features added in? Because I saw some people complaining about that they removed some of these like alternate game modes. Like whenever I logged on Counter-Strike, I would usually hop into gun game, and supposedly that's gone.
Yeah, so like the workshop maps like aren't there right now. Basically, here, let me like launch CS2. Like if I go into the thing, like if I went into CS:GO, you could basically pick like community games, and then it would open up like a console, like Gary's mod, basically. And it would tell you how many, like what the game is. Oh, we're surfing in this lobby. You know, we have gun game going on in this lobby. So right now, there's Premier, which is like their new kind of ranked system, which this is what kind of like was my issue with Counter-Strike as a whole, was their ranking system and their matchmaking. And it still feels like it's a little kind of, I don't understand why it's so hard to not just do like a Halo 3 system, 1 to 50. Like this one has like basically like 4,000 is like silver, 6,000 is gold, 8,000 is LG, 10,000 MG, and then like 15,000 plus is like global elite. But like at that point, it's just like you're just throwing big numbers at us, and it just doesn't really feel. But then you can play competitive. So there's Premier, and then there's competitive, where you can like, let's say you only like playing Dust 2. You'll only queue Dust 2, and then after 10 games of winning on Dust 2, you'll get a rank specifically for the Dust 2 map. So
they have rankings for individual map. I mean, I think that's kind of cool. Yeah, but I could also see it being like a little weird.
Yeah, it just doesn't like make sense. I just don't think it makes any sense. And then you have like Wingman, that you can play on 4 maps, and then there's Casual, which they break kind of 4 maps into 1, 3 maps into 1, and then Dust 2 and Hostage, which you'd be surprised at how many people actually play Hostage and stuff. So like here, I clicked on community servers and it says community servers are run by other players and offer a new and different experiences to other socials. So like I clicked OK. And it looks like you can join some game servers, but it looks super weird and my game just crashed trying to open it.
I mean, it could just be like, you know, eventually those things will get a bit more support. And like now they're just, you know, they're trying to get the general services up and running. And then over the next month or so, a lot of those other features will potentially be brought back. You'd think. So
I will say, Datto, one of the things, like your karambit knife has actually gone up a ton in price because now it looks like a sapphire. So it's a cheaper alternative to sapphires than
we love that
buying an actual sapphire. So that's gone up while sapphires have gone down, you know?
Mm-hmm. Your investment's pretty liquid, man, but it's looking like it's going up on the up right now. And I just kind of feel like you made a really good investment, and over the next like 5-year plan, it should be going up on the up, man. So
the ROI on his is real big, I would say.
Hey, we love that.
This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp. I talk about it all the time, but I know streaming and making content is something that is good for my brain. Unfortunately, my brain gets in the way of that, telling me that I'm no good, I'm irrelevant, I'm dumb, I'm fading away. All that gets in the way. Thankfully, I had BetterHelp in my corner to tell me and show me the things that I can do to reassure myself that I am worth it. And I know BetterHelp can help you with your problems as well. Nobody is above therapy. Therapy can help you with so many things. BetterHelp stepped in and showed me healthy ways that I can reassure myself and tell myself that I am worth it and that I do make great content and that people do love it. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time with no additional charge. Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/GG today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp help.com/GG. But like all in all, it seems like they have updates every day. So that's kind of what is the cool part is Valve is updating this every day. I think Valve understands that like this is basically like an open beta and they need to get it kind of ready until I think they launch like their operation, which is like kind of like their big content updates in CSGO or CS2. Probably my guess is like November holiday season. And then that's kind of when you'll see Valve go, okay, and just kick it off to the side. And then Blue, I think you'll see Team Fortress 2 getting some sort of
I don't believe you. I don't
It's gotta be next. It's gotta be next, dude.
Yeah.
For that game to not have any sort of updates and still have around 80,000 people playing it is crazy.
Yeah, listen, man, I really want Team Fortress 2 to get a big update. I would prefer a whole new game, but they're never going to do that.
People. Yeah, isn't that crazy?
For a game to be not releasing new content, like new like actual like dev created content, and to still be having this much of a player base is not surprising because the base TF2 is so fun. But I don't know, man. I feel like
is it not on Source 2? Is it still on Source?
No, it's still on
TF2?
Source. It's still on Source.
Okay.
So
why do they call it TF2 then?
Because it's the second Team Fortress.
Oh, so they didn't. Okay.
Because Rob's brain has gone so degen mode that he's like TF2. Does that mean?
Well, I thought Dota 2 because Dota 2 got Source 2. CS2 had Source 2. TF2.
They're actual. It's actual sequel.
Dota before Dota 2.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what I mean. Like Dota 1 was on Source 1. Now Dota 2 is on Source 2.
No, but Dota 2 was not on Source 2 before. Never mind. Listen, the point is, man. Yeah, I really hope that it gets the Source 2 treatment. It's kind of a no-brainer because if TF2 got a big like visual physics.
It'd be the second biggest game on Steam.
Everything updated. It would have a lot more players than it does right now, which is crazy to think about. I don't even think Valve. I think Valve consistently underestimates their games. I think Counter-Strike is just like so massive that they couldn't ignore it. Whereas TF2 is like not immediately like, wow, 80,000 players. That's a pretty healthy game, I guess. But like it's a 15-year-old game that hasn't been updated in a meaningful way in like at this point like 7-8 years, and is pulling these numbers, and Valve was probably just like, I guess that's pretty cool. So I don't know. Yeah. I hope they throw it in the source too, because it would the player count would multiply.
It's always interesting to hear how many devs like actually work for Valve. You know what I mean? Like it's a pretty small, I think, number compared to like other studios.
I've been to their office a couple years ago. I have a friend who works there. They work more on like the networking side of things though. And it's definitely a very nice building. But yeah, not the hugest of
well, because like now they just focus on Steam, no? Like at this point.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to compare like their office to Bungie's new office that they just built, and they're pretty similar. Although Bungie's office is very empty because they're just all work from home. It's such a shame that they went and built like they bought
a whole new studio.
Is that the one that's like in the mall or whatever? Like that was kind of by the mall, or is that their old one?
It's close to that area, yeah.
Okay.
But they bought out like there used to be an LA Fitness there, and there used to be like a couple of other buildings there, and they just bought them all out, completely redid their office. They're basically like in the process of like decorating it now. I've been there twice in the past couple of months, and there's like nobody there.
Like a skeleton
I probably
crew.
ate more snacks in my trip there than like several people have their entire time during that week for work.
Funny. I feel like just so many like game devs now just like work from home.
Yeah. I mean, Bungie's 100% work from home. They're not making anyone come into the office or anything like that.
But you still can, right? Like if you like going into the office,
you can still totally go in if you want, you know. And they got a gym there. They got food on every floor, huge kitchen area, fridges are stocked. Like it's designed like an office that wants to keep you there, except there's like you don't have to.
Yeah,
but I'm at home and don't have to get up and get in a car.
Right.
Honestly, though, that's like peak design of company. Honestly, like,
everyone just
we have a space if you want to come in, and maybe it might not financially have been the best move.
Yeah, that's my thing. I was like, man, you guys just spend all this money, and the most amount of people I've seen here is like 20 to 30.
Yeah, that again, financially may not have been the coolest play, but I think that's like a solid way to run.
Oh, did you guys see Epic Games? Actually, this is pretty.
Speaking of
Epic
layoffs,
Games laid off 16%.
Speaking of layoffs,
Speaking of total bullshit.
Bro, and then like the CEO came out and was like, yeah, we're really bad at spending money, and I know it's our decisions on how we spend the money, so let's just fire all the people that are affected by our decisions.
It's so bullshit too, because Tim Sweeney is like has like a net worth of like 5-point-something billion. It's like, hey, buddy, take a couple of fucking shots on that since it's your fault you guys are operating at a loss. It's 100% you and your board of directors' fault and not your devs, because your devs are the reason you guys are printing fucking money. Here you guys are getting sued, doing this stupid FTC bullshit because you guys wanted to fight a bunch of different studios. You guys wanted to go there, be stupid and fight Apple. You guys wanted to do all this dumb shit and invest in stupid shit. And here we are with Fortnite quite literally printing fucking giga V-Bucks. And you guys
and they're raising the prices, too,
raising the price of V-Bucks, and you and your big old CEO is just getting a whole bunch.
Did they say like inflation had to do with their V-Buck raise too? Like, I don't know. They said something about it.
Listen,
It was
inflation with the
something
V-Buck
stupid.
community.
And all
Yeah, that's what it was.
Unbelievable.
and all this to say, all these layoffs just so you guys can say we're operating at a record profit at the end of the year, and you wanted to make sure that you and your little CEOs and your board of directors were getting their nice little cut of money while your devs were doing all the work. All they had to do was toss a little money in because they have too much money to fail. And suddenly you actually are throwing money at stupid wall shit because you're dumb and terrible at handling financials, while your devs who gave you those financials to toss at the wall are the reason why you even have that money to toss. And so you're fucking up their money that they are giving you that you printed. You suck. Fucking It's insane to me that how profitable game companies are nowadays, that how common layoffs are is just unacceptable.
Yeah. Well, especially when you look at
it really surprised me how many people work at Epic. Like 830 employees, or 16% of that's about 5,200 people that before the layoffs worked at Epic, give or take a couple hundred. That is crazy.
That's
I mean, like Riot is like what? They got to be 7,000-8,000 something
like that.
Well, it's
Bungie
also
is just over 1,000 for
I was like,
context.
Steam is like maybe even like 700, 1,000,
they have so many people because they've picked up so many studios. They picked up the Fall Guys people. They bought up Rocket League. And then they buy these studios and then cut them because they suddenly what did you guys do when you bought these studios? We just introduced a new monetization structure. Did you do anything cool with it? Nah. Thanks, Epic Games.
Yeah, so Valve has approximately about 1,100 employees. So the fact that Epic has like 5 times what most studios have is just wild.
Like they just laid off the equivalent of like Bungie.
Yeah.
Also, they can say they're not that unprofitable, and so their cute little higher ups can keep that nice $1 million bonus every year.
By the way, though, Ahsoka just came to Fortnite, so buy the Ahsoka
just
skin,
came,
ladies and gentlemen. Fortnite.
Pause.
What color? Never mind. Yeah, so
come on.
Yeah, I was kind of upset. I was pretty mad because back when I was playing Paragon, there were so many like really cool devs at Epic, and the community manager especially. And like over the years, I've just seen so many of those people leave, and those managers be like over the years, be very open about their like dislike of how Epic handles things, and how like even like when this came out and they showed off the layoffs and like it was this big thing, so many of those former employees were like yeah, this is so shitty because we've seen how irresponsible the higher ups at Epic have been since like 5 years ago. Back when I was working there, we could see it still. So it's just really upsetting. I hate it. The game,
I feel real bad for the people at Fall Guys. So what is it? I forget what it's called. Mediatoic
whatever.
Or something.
Yeah.
But basically, Epic was like, yo, Fall Guys is awesome, and we can make a lot of money from it. Can we buy you guys? Yeah, sure. Okay, you're fired. Like I don't
believe they fired all of them. I do think quite a bit of them got fired, but
yeah. Although I did look up to see what Fall Guys population looks like. How many people do you think are playing Fall Guys on Steam right now?
20,000.
No way, not even close. Dude.
I'm gonna guess 12.
Because you got to say it's on Xbox now, so it's probably split. I'll probably say around 3,000.
2,500 people on Steam.
Easy, beating Overwatch.
No, 2,500, Joe.
2,500. Not 25,000.
Losing to Overwatch. That's
2,500.
I was pogging for Fall Guys. I was actually
what's their peak?
Well, no, also
like right around COVID.
That's impressive because didn't they make it Epic Games exclusive?
Forget.
Did they?
I don't think so. I think
I haven't been a Fall Guy in a minute, dude.
Yeah, I still have Fall Guys on.
Well, I mean, people are literally playing it on Steam right now. So.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like from, I don't know.
I have no idea. But it's been since the beginning of the year, their average player count across all months is probably still around this 25 to 2,700
Damn,
marker.
that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Their peak was when they first launched, they were at 172,000 peak.
That's insane.
The month after they launched, which was actually it's been just over 3 years since they launched.
Yeah.
They had 66,000, and then they had a spike July 2022 for something. And then they've been floating around
So
2,000 to
cringe.
3,000. Yeah, I thought it was way more people as well.
I thought so too.
I knew it would be pretty low,
like the 10,000s or something, but
I knew it would be. I mean, 2,500 is not low. I mean, but I mean, in this words of Epic Games and the money machine, that is Epic Games.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
unfortunate for everybody involved.
Just sucks, man.
Hopefully people can get picked up. Although I think they said like, a couple hundred people are like still with whatever companies that they're spinning off or something. Flavin, I don't know.
Hopefully people find, land on their feet with it. That's kind of the only thing.
The smallest victory is that they got 6 months of severance pay. So it's something. It's something.
Yeah, 6 months. 6 months to find a new gig is not too shabby, but I've certainly known people who've gotten their severance and still have not been able to find work. So, but 6 months is not bad. Not bad at the least.
Not bad.
Is there anything we wanted to touch on before I switch on over to Q&A?
I did want to ask a Q&A of myself, right, real quick before we get into Q&A. Datto and Joey, what game this year has brought you the most happiness?
Crap, let me check Steam.
Joey, it's a feeling, not a number.
I know. I have to remember like what games I have played this year. That's where
honestly,
I'm
same.
Right,
yeah, I've been playing recently Baldur's Gate.
Okay, nice.
You play that off stream or?
I've been playing it mostly off stream with Danielle. Okay. Like late at night, it's like we just eat dinner and we usually watch some YouTube on the couch and then we come out and we play a little bit. I just don't generally play that many games. I mean, it's basically been like Party Animals, Remnant 2, some golf games, Baldur's Gate, and Destiny. Like that's all I really get to play.
I mean, you kind of already listed a lot of the games I've been playing too. Honestly, as far as like just pure joy, Party Animals was really fun when we were able to play.
It still is fun. Boys. Like, I still haven't lost the allure.
I have been really enjoying it.
Yeah.
So I'd say that, and then Jedi Survivor made me really happy when it made me happy, and then with the performance issues that it gave me, it made me really mad. So I'll throw that game in there just for I enjoyed it when I enjoyed it.
Like the head of a dick floating in a soapy bathwater, you know?
Fixate
on it, or a deprivation tank.
Or that.
Yeah.
Topical.
I think like Remnant 2 caught me by surprise just because I bought that game just blind. I was just like, I know everyone else is having a good time with it. I know there's like some shooting involved. F it. Let's try it. And I really enjoyed my time playing Remnant 2. Baldur's Gate has been a pretty good time, although, man, do I feel like it can get, at the very start, it can get so overwhelming with just how many things there are to go do. But I think I've probably played, like, one of my top 5 games played this year is probably Super Mario 64, because I've been trying to learn.
That's right. I've been seeing
16 stars awesome.
Running. Yeah, I've been trying to do that just because.
Are you gonna try carpetless?
No, I'm not in that position yet, and I will not be for a very long time. But
what is your what's your PB for 16? I want to try and beat it at some point and learn the
2043.
And what's world record technically? I guess
like 1435.
Okay. I mean, 9 minutes isn't awful though. Like, as somebody who just like does it for fun, that's pretty decent time. Like,
I mean, I've taken my time, but the first completed run that I ever did was like 35 minutes. and that was 3 months ago. But I have less than 100 runs under my belt. I think I'm just now hitting around 100
and
like
it's completed
restarts.
runs?
No,
Okay,
100 just like
restarts.
restarts.
Okay.
I don't think I definitely have not completed 100 runs. If anything, I've probably completed a couple dozen.
Okay.
But it's just been fun, like learning like something new and like actually having something that I want to go achieve. Because lately I just haven't had that feeling of just like having a goal that I want to go achieve or like set out to do.
Yeah.
Just like honestly, ever since I hit 1 million subs on YouTube, just kind of knowing that like, the odds of me hitting 2 million on Destiny are incredibly, incredibly low. And I just haven't really had any other goals to go achieve. So having something like this after just watching a ton of like, Mario 64 speed runs and speedrunner content. I mean, I got Simply up on the other monitor over here. And I was just kind of like, I just want to try it. I know this is so completely opposite of what I do, but I just wanted to try it. And I've been having a really good time. I'm probably going to go log on as soon as we're done here for the stream and start learning some new stuff.
Damn.
There you go.
So yeah, that is a game that has brought me joy. Almost 30-year-old game.
That's like your comfort stream game. I feel like if you're kind of just wanting to vibe out and chill, you throw on 16-star speedrun.
Yeah. Lately it has been, for sure. Because it's like you can still like every time you reset, there's something to still get invested. Like you still get invested in the run, and like the chat can get invested in the run. But there's also times where you can just kind of like sit there and play. There's also times where you can sit there and talk to people during the easy parts. So yeah, it's been.
Hey,
it's
if you ever want to set a goal,
time on that game.
If you ever want to set a goal to beat the Rock Band set again with somebody, I'll be right there.
A little
with
endless set list too.
Yeah, I'll do an endless set list with you if you ever want to. If you ever want a day like, hey, I don't know what to do, we just do an endless set list and play guitar and drums.
Yeah,
all day.
I'm down.
Because I've never done that. I think it would be kind of fun to do.
You've never done endless set list?
No, because I figured like I would probably get to Green Grass and High Tides, I think it was called, and probably fail. Like, and then fucking hate my life, and it's now
it's
over.
Much more forgiving with two people when you can bring somebody else back to life versus doing it by yourself and you're just like, well, one life, that's it. But I will say it's also a lot longer than you realize. Like it's 6 hours.
Yeah, that's a long.
It's a long one.
You've done it once, right? I think
I did it
in college.
Yes, in fact, I think I still have the picture that I took. Let me see.
Blue, do you understand any of the words they're saying?
No,
Derek.
but I'm gonna nod and smile.
So in Rock Band, you could play the whole set list, DLC and everything in one setting. Like it would be you play from the first song and then you go all the way to the last song, and you play it constantly.
The songs that came with the game. It wouldn't be DLC. It would just be the song. That was the endless set list, and I think there was an actual option to click where you're like, endless set list, go. And there was also a trophy for doing it without pausing. So that was called the Bladder of Steel trophy. So if you did the whole thing without pausing at any point, you also got that trophy.
Man, that's when achievements were cool, man. That's like an achievement.
We don't have those anymore.
Here, let me see if I can get this up on the screen. What this? There you go. There's me and my boy. There's me and my boy Derek after 6 hours.
Wow. Look
Bladder
at your hair,
of Steel.
Datto.
I know. I had blonde hair because I did a Titus cosplay for Final Fantasy X, and I just left my hair blonde for that whole year, but it got really long. This is not nearly as long.
Is that the longest hair you've ever had?
In college, not this hair, but during this year was the longest my hair ever was. Yeah. But yeah.
And that's all expert, right? Both experts?
We're both on expert. The only song we didn't 5-star was Visions, which was like that crazy, like, yeah.
Oh, that song's sick though. That song is so hard on drums. Guitar, I can kind of 4-star, maybe 5-star.
Yeah, drum is just like you're just both arms the whole time, just like, yeah, it's wild. But yeah,
Yeah,
that
we'll
was
do it. We did it
that
on
was a
stream one
core
time.
memory.
I think. Like,
yeah, I'm down. I'm down
because
for sure.
I never played. I was one of those kids that I got Guitar Hero, but that was it. So I would YouTube visions and then play on my guitar, watching the YouTube video as if I was playing it. That's how broke boy I was. All right, let's go on to Q&A now. Exeliator, hopefully I said that correctly. Two-part question here. For the typing of a figure outside of Pokemon, what about Spyro? The dragon's typing. We could easily have a dragon as the primary, or would you go fire as secondary, or would you go flying as secondary? So what Pokemon typing would you think Spyro the dragon would have?
I think that's a pretty clear dragon fire.
I would agree.
I was just gonna say
it's literally
if you were going to make a dual type.
We'll do fire because he couldn't really fly except for like really specific sections. He more floated. So I would
had to
say,
unlock it in Skylanders.
So I'm gonna say he's a fire flying, or no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna say he's a dragon fire with the ability to levitate.
Okay,
I'll take that. Yeah, good show.
And then the second question is was watching some of old Nuzlocke from Mr. Fruit and was wondering if you guys would do your own Nuzlocks for Pokemon fusions.
No,
I did.
Well, no, I mean it says here. I know Joey just created one.
Oh,
yeah.
Joey,
thank you.
Joey was about to get hella narcissistic real quick
Because I was like, everybody always says it. Man, really wish they played this game. Hey, listen, I did, but yeah, no, I know what they're asking.
I had
Infinite
no
Fusion
desire
was
to
great.
do fusions. No,
Infinite Fusion was awesome.
I don't know.
That
what
was too
is.
much. It's like whether you like when you catch a Pokemon, they like form
Well, no. What you can do is basically it's a modded Pokemon game that I think it's like all the way up to Gen 3, and then they have scattered Pokemons all the way up to Gen 8 that they just like put into the game. But it's Johto and Kanto, so it's like it's Soul Silver and stuff like that, and you're just playing through Kanto, and basically the whole thing of the game is you can take any two Pokemon and combine them together to make another fused Pokemon. And how they do it is they've like gotten the collaborative like power of all these different sprite artists, and they've gone in and made custom sprites for like the 100,000 plus combinations that you can have for every Pokemon. So obviously not every single combination has a custom fusion, but a lot of them do have like, Charizard and Giratina have like this sick, fire ghost looking thing. And, they have their custom moves, they have typings, they have different like, and, if you go through and play against like all of it, because I did everything, including the post game, and you have, the gym leaders have all these dual type, super sick legendary mons and all this other stuff. It's a really fun game.
It's too much Pokemon for me.
But it's you have to have like a really solid knowledge of Pokemon, because you basically have to look at a Pokemon and say, okay, that is Flygon mixed with Poochyena. What type is it?
Yeah.
Right? Rob, what type would that be?
Dragon normal.
See,
so you'd have to think about that, right? So it is really cool. I have a series up on YouTube if you'd like to watch it. But honestly, yeah, that game would be almost impossible to soul link. I feel like that'd be tough.
I know you expressed interest in doing like a soul lock with Fruit at some point.
Me?
Yeah, I've talked to him about it.
Datto.
Yeah, I've talked to him about it, just like being like, hey, whenever you're done, like whenever like you two were done with the one that you were doing,
like,
if you want me to tag in, like
that would be super.
I definitely don't know as much as Fruit or Joey or Blue about.
You're kind of like
games. I'm like you. I think I know a little more of like the typings and like weaknesses versus strengths and stuff like that. But I'm much more your direction than their direction. So I was like, if you want to try and carry me through, or try and drudge up some of that old Pokemon knowledge, I'm game. So yeah, I've talked to him about it, but I just also didn't want to like step on toes, because I know you two were trying to get that one done. I know Danielle and I we haven't watched the newer stuff, but we watched, was it episodes 1 through I think about I think we got up to
it's
like 15 or so.
15, and then it did its own.
It's not. Yeah,
like,
now we have the 4
solo series type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I miss those.
So, yeah, but I told him, hey, you want someone to tag in? Let me know. Maybe not around March,
like that.
March 2024 or anything. But I'd even be down during my sabbatical because like I'm not doing any work. I'm just playing the game. So,
Blue, do you have any interest in doing fusions?
Probably not. Pokemon fan games don't really like super appeal to me.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's actually so good. Like they have a whole revamped story and everything. Like instead of Giovanni like trying to catch the legendary birds, he's trying to fuse them all together into a triple fusion that has 3 health bars. You're telling me that's not sick? Even Datto's are really like, wow, that's actually kind of cool. Yeah, like
I'm used to the Pokemon games of old that were just all super
I just
pathetic,
woke up.
easy.
And it's like, it's Gen 4 styled sprite. I'm telling you, it is a solid game.
Flippy Fist says Game of Thrones question: do White Walkers grow up?
No.
Oh,
not my territory.
Because technically they're dead. So what's there to grow?
Well, I mean, they do grow up because like Craster gives babies away to the White Walkers, so like they obviously grow up into White Walkers. Remember where Craster like sacrifices his babby, and then the babby goes to the city that we never see, and then he like makes the baby a White Walker by touching it, and then that's never explained ever again.
I don't remember.
You might be right then. Actually, you might be right.
I think they do.
I didn't think about that.
Lumberlord says, do you have any favorite moments or memories from the previous 199 episodes?
I've been on like 3 of them, so that's all you guys.
While you guys think about it, I do my favorite moment myself that came from myself is when I hit Fruit with when Fruit started talking about pies.
Dude, I was just thinking about that
and Rob was like talking about like
banana cream pies.
Yeah, and then Fruit was like, I'm more of a cream pie guy myself. And then Fruit like started like talking, and then like he made a misstep where he was like, speaking of Claire, and I was I just instantly like with the I've never fired so quick. I was like, speaking of Claire, and dude, that was
derailed everything.
I don't know if I've ever had. That was like my peak comedy moment. Like I'm never gonna be that funny in my life ever again. So that was my favorite from me. From overall as like my favorite is probably probably Rob's LSD story. Like that shit took me on a ride.
That was funny.
I was in that story.
It's so funny that like what used to be the worst day of my life is like now just a funny story. I swore when that happened, I was like, I'm never telling this story. Like I'm taking this to the fucking grave. And now
no, that's not my favorite. No, my favorite is Rob was talking about how drunk he got, and he was like when he had like a stream, and he started talking about how he was like, I was throwing up and shitting out of my ass at the same time, and he was like, I was like, Sid is never gonna find out about this. I don't know why I was just losing my shit the entire time. I couldn't stop crying.
She has like a video of me like throwing up after that night too. And you literally hear like I'm like puking and shit.
And Rob was like, and then Rob is like, yeah, I went to the bathroom after I woke up.
That was bad.
And I was everywhere. I was finding shit in places that it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, dude. I remember like waking up. I remember waking up in the bed, and like the sheet next to me had a little brown stain. And I'm like, oh my God, did I shit? I literally went, did I shit the bed? And then I was like, and then I kind of like, oh no, there's no shit. I guess I was like, oh, just like a little Hershey stain. And then I go into the bathroom, bro, and it was like,
damn it.
That was like
Bad.
And then when he was
Bad,
cleaning
Jesus.
it, and then when he was cleaning it, Sid was like, "Is everything okay in there?" And Rob was like, "No, do not."
Yeah, I was like,
come
"Don't."
in here."
Yeah, don't.
Fuck.
Long story short, I got too drunk on a Voodoo Ranger stream. I ended the stream, went upstairs, immediately started puking in my bathroom, and so like my toilet is right next to like the air vent. So like as I'm like puking, I'm like diarrhea pooping at the same time, and the diarrhea poop seeped into the air vent. So I had to like go into because then like when it would blow air into the bathroom, it smelled like shit.
That is tough.
It was like a 2-hour.
Thank you. I've scrubbed that all from my mind,
Holy
and now it's all just fresh.
You scrubbed
back in
that?
there,
I'm
so.
never gonna forget that.
I would probably say my favorite podcast memory.
Also, before you say it, Rob, it is crazy that like 100 episodes ago. Do you know how long ago that was?
It's like almost 2 years.
September 13th, 2021.
Yeah.
So over 2 years now.
Yeah, it's about 2 years.
And it's
like
how
the way
much
I remember it
has
is
happened?
52 episodes is a year. Like, because there's 52 weeks in a year. So that's kind of the way you can remember it. Because I think we probably have missed maybe 3 or 4 months in that span. Okay, my favorite, probably just when we did the Fruit Summit podcast with everybody individually back in the day, live in the rooms. Those were a lot of fun, and like I really miss like doing it in person, and then like after doing it in person, going back and like editing it. That was really fun.
I really miss in person.
I think like my favorite memory though, which is kind of what I'm doing now at the start of 200, is kind of like my weight loss journey. When I first started it, I literally got into the best shape of my life, and now I'm back into the worst shape of my life. So hopefully getting back into the best shape of my life will be my favorite podcast.
There you go. That'll be one you talk about at 300, baby.
Josh Flash says, "Happy 200, guys. Thanks so much for the podcast. It has truly become a therapy for me every day. But now for the question, what is your dream vacation spot? And who are you bringing with you?" One person.
Oh, one
person?
Come on. Yeah. If I got a dream vacation, I'm taking the homies. Dude.
Yeah. Wait, what?
Well, okay,
I mean, I went to Japan, and that was one of the spots that I really wanted to go.
Same.
I think the only other place that I would like to visit is probably South Korea. But I know Danielle wants to do so many more specific things. I don't really like to do much on vacation. I just like to kind of vibe on vacation. Like I just want to be alive somewhere else. That's my idea of vacation.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, today we're gonna go see this, and then go do this, and then go do this, and then go do this.
Right.
Too much stuff overwhelms me when I'm away.
If vacation was a sport, my dad would be the MVP because he wants to do that stuff all the time. Like he's just like, all right, up at 6 a.m. we got 14 things to do, and then lunch, and then we have another 14 things to do, and then dinner.
Where yours is like, oh, we woke up. You want to go?
I'm gonna do one thing. And that's it for my whole day. And then the next day, I might not even do anything. And then the next day, I'll do one thing. That's how I like the vacation. So,
if I could,
I just want to go to Japan. I want to go to Japan or Iceland. And I mean, I already know who I'm taking the BF.
Yeah. I think a houseboat at Lake Powell, which was one of my favorite vacations I've ever done. Like getting a houseboat and like just being on the lake and stuff like that was super sick. So I'd do something like that.
I've never been out of the country, so anywhere.
You've never been out of the country?
Not even like Canada?
Nope.
Not even
Canada,
like
not even Hawaii, bro.
Not even like a
I technically haven't either, Joey. I went to Colombia when I was 2, but I don't remember anything. So
I can't even say that. So I've been to New York.
No, that's a different.
Not out of the country.
And obviously,
it's not out of the country.
A whole other world.
Although
I
know it is a nice blend of several countries. I will say.
Crystal says, if animals could talk, what species do you think would be the most polite or nice? Dogs, probably.
Turtles.
Probably dog.
Definitely dog. If besides dogs,
well, like a bunny.
Yeah,
no, bunnies would be.
They're just horny.
Bunnies are assholes.
They're just horny.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
probably dog.
A zebra.
dog,
I think
probably.
zebras would seem like nice and polite. You know, they just eat grass and shit. Giraffes.
Ooh,
Giraffes seem
capybaras.
polite.
Giraffes would
very-
be pretty chill. I'd imagine.
Capybaras would be very
Capybaras.
polite.
Manatees, dude.
Oh,
It could
that's a good
totally be a
one.
manatee. Are you kidding?
Manatees. Manatees are very sweet.
They'd be like, "Hi, I'm a manatee," and then they just float away.
Johnny Appleseed says, "Love the D&D stream. My question is, what are your guys' plot predictions / conspiracy theories for your campaign?"
I'm gonna kill Ruben's character. So at some point, that's my theory.
I don't
it's
know,
gonna
dude.
happen.
I don't think you want to fight him, man. He stuck his
That's
fist
true.
in a dude and choked him out with
Okay,
poison.
Ruben is going to kill one of the other party members. That is my. That's my.
I
prediction.
Title
think
goes,
the
"We can knock
odds
someone out."
for inter-party fighting is the odds of that are pretty low.
That's fair,
I will
but
say.
with Ruben, you never know.
don't know,
I have
I-
no idea. I this could be just taken in so many directions. We've only gotten really a taste of what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not actually anticipating too many like super crazy things. At least with like 2 new people in the group. Could there be some plot twists? Sure. Could there be a plot twist where like his player character is secretly the one behind all the evil stuff? Sure.
Crazy.
But yeah, I don't really. We haven't gotten enough yet to
Yeah.
really sink our teeth into any sort of like what kind of conspiracy could there possibly be here.
Kyra says, "If Pokemon was releasing a new evolution, what typing would you want it to be?"
I want
Dragon.
They have all.
I want the fighting Eevee. There's been so many concepts of like a cool fighting Eevee, and that's all I see now is a sick ass fighting Evo. Say that 3 times fast. Jesus Christ.
Rock? Is there a rock
Nope.
Eevee?
There's not a rock
Okay.
one.
There's no
I'll take a
rock,
rock.
brown, dragon, bug.
Most of the
You
types
gotta
are
think
not.
dragon.
Most of the
People be
types are not
into-
taken.
into
Yeah,
dragon.
I want dragon. I want a dragon.
Dragging these nuts across your mouth.
I think
Last
ground
question.
would be like the most
Walk them.
like next one on the list though. It's just like such a common typing. I feel like.
Mies says, "Hey guys, congrats on 200. We ever get a Baldur's Gate Dream Team run? I wouldn't hold your breath. If you want a
Such an
Baldur's Gate
investment.
run, the closest thing you're gonna get to that is our D&D campaign
Yeah.
that you can
Yeah.
catch on Rubear's YouTube, Joey's YouTube, and mine.
Yep.
So yeah. Oh, also, okay. Rob's question now: if you guys had to go to a party today and dress up as something that starts with the letter K, what would you guys dress up as?
This is specific.
This
It
is
is
also
Letter
this is
K.
all this is also in
I'm gonna show you what I picked, okay? And I want Datto knows what I ended up going as.
I
but
do
I'll
know
be
what you
excited
did.
to see.
Yeah.
I don't.
he's
I'm
just-
trying to think of stuff that even starts with the letter K.
Isle. I could dress up as Bless.
tread carefully here, bud.
I want you guys to guess who I am.
I already know, so it's gonna be you guys.
Yeah, I know.
What if he just
The
like
letter
comes,
K. I don't
what
know.
if he
I
just
need to do some
surprises us?
research.
What if he just surprises everyone for episode 200? Just comes out just whole hog, just
Okay,
out.
you guys ready?
Oh, also Joey, you're frozen.
What?
Oh yeah, you froze up.
Bring this up like this,
Right.
right?
Don't worry about it, bud. Don't worry, it'll come back. What? Dude! Oh my god!
It's Kevin.
You're so dumb, man.
No, that's pretty funny.
It's so stupid. I hate you,
Hey,
man.
Rob. Hey, I like it. I'm with it. Am I unfrozen?
Fun fact.
You're good.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Kevin James
Yeah,
went
so
to
I'm-
the same high school that I did.
Oh.
Really? Kings and Queens is the very own. But yeah, I'm going as the Kevin James meme. I found this at my local thrift store today, and it looked pretty good. And it has the double pockets and everything. So I'm hoping the party we're going to is filled with some memers.
Up to date on memes. It's a
Exactly.
fairly new one. It's a fairly
That's
new
what I'm
meme.
But
saying.
it's also fairly popular.
It's everywhere, though. You know what I mean? It's like,
Mhm.
it's everywhere. So people are going to ask what I am, and then I'm going to go,
I hate you, man. The easiest outfit for me, that dude from Jungle Book, Shaq. Because it's such a cop out. Because I could easily just go to any party city and get a gorilla outfit.
Yeah.
Kerchak is the gorilla from Jungle Book, or not Jungle Book, Tarzan.
I was gonna say, isn't that?
Oh, okay, yeah.
He's a bear in the one in Jungle Book.
Yeah, that's my bad. I'm getting my wildlife animals confused. No, he's the big monkey from Tarzan. It's an easy cop out because you can get gorilla outfits anywhere.
You want to know what buying this outfit made me realize though, which is fucking insane to me? I do not have a single pair of blue jeans.
What?
Not
Really?
Not a single pair of blue jeans. Not a single pair. I literally either they didn't fit me and I threw them all away at some point. All I have are like black jeans, some khakis, no blue jeans anywhere to be found. I literally tore my fucking closet apart. It's the only thing the ensemble is missing is jeans. So I gotta go buy some baggy kind of mid 2000s type of jeans.
Yeah.
Is this?
I mean, jeans are kind of timeless.
Is this meme gonna hit for the normies though? Because now I'm thinking about it.
I don't know.
I think it would.
This one ain't for the normies though.
I guess you're right. Yeah.
See, but the sad thing is though, if someone's gonna be like, "Oh, who are you?" and you do they're
gonna be like, "Bro, just tell me who the fuck you are, man."
If they don't get it, you're immediately a loser. If they get it, you're the coolest guy at the party.
Yeah,
if they don't get
fucking
it,
man.
I'm
like, really worried. I walk in and there's another guy in the kitchen looking at me like,
and it's just Kevin James. Like he's just at the party.
He himself is there.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, did anybody come as this? And then like, yeah,
oh no,
it's Kevin James in the corner.
Like, shout out, Sweat the Small Stuff. Pretty good comedy special. I don't know how well it holds up today, but
is that what that's from?
Specials. No, I'm just saying, like, I liked one of his old specials.
The meme is from like the King of Queens photo shoots or some shit.
Yeah, which is from probably
what a weird meme to take off. I don't know if I've ever seen a meme have the kind of
it's weird.
I think just someone used it as a reaction photo, and then Twitter just kept going with it. So
yeah,
which I love memes like that.
Well, thank you, Joey and Datto, for coming in today and filling in for 200. We really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. It means a lot to me that you guys come in here and hang out. It means a lot. It means even more that you guys want to listen and, like the podcast and all that sort of things. So thank you guys for keeping the podcast going for 200 more episodes. Here's to 200 more. We will keep doing this as long as we can, and as long as you guys support us and enjoy it, we'll keep it coming. So thank you guys for listening. We'll be back next week for more talking. See ya.
Peace.